So we're going to have you get into the swings. We're all going to just face this direction. So Selena and I are going to start massaging you guys first, and we're going to switch. So you're going to get in. You're going to stretch the swing down. Oh, do you feel like the swing's in a good spot? Can you know that you help you? Thank you. Okay. So we're going to get in, stretch the swing down to your knees. Make sure you have enough material that you can get your head in. Okay? So once you lay back, we're going to go ahead and just put the leg loops on for you. So we're going to start with some Yogassage. Okay? So you'll get your gut. You're my gut now. You're like, all right, dating. Okay. So I like to keep the leg loops nice and low for this part, so you can actually bring the leg loops down one. Or not. You can put them on the handholds. Yeah, put them on the handholds. That's good. It doesn't matter, but it just makes it easier to come in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and help you out and just put your little footy in there for me. Extend. All right, good. Putting your head in. Into. Put your head in.
Yes.
Get your head in more, please.
It's like I'm good.
It's like a. Oh wait.
Yeah, do a little neck tap under the occiput there.
Okay. Second side. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't seem to get the leg loops quite right. So I'm just being.
Did I get them all?
No, it was me. I'm sure it was me.
No, I just did it. No, that's no.
Yeah, that's close enough.
I think it was
The other way?
Yeah, no, the way it was, I think.
Okay.
I think it was even, but there's something.
That's
There's
just
something slightly uneven.
well, the ceiling's
Is it wrapped around
uneven.
weird or something?
No, it's just the ceiling and then the leg and the whole thing.
That's good enough. That's
You
right.
sure?
Positive.
Close enough. Okay, good. Okay, so this is what's going to happen next. So we're going to come here in front. I'm going to wrap around the leg loops, and I'm going to tuck his feet underneath my arms, and then I'm just going to stretch them.
Are you okay? You're behind like this.
Yeah. So the feet are under. Yeah, they're touching the super spinatus. And then we're just going to rock. So lean back into it, honey. Yeah, like that. And we're just rocking. So I like holding on to the leg loops. You can hold on to the calves, but I'm just pulling on the leg loops. And I'm kind of tractioning. Yeah. So I know you can't see me, but I'm rocking from side to side. Okay. Just let it be easy. So it's your weight leaning back that's doing the work. That's just a nice way to start. Good. There you go. So today we're just going to focus on the therapeutics, just to really talk, address how to do some more one-on-one work with people that feels really good. So I need all of the attention up here. Are you sure? Thank you. Thanks, unless it's pertinent to the swing. All right, and then let's just lean from side to side. Yeah, you got it, Selena. Good. Just lean from side to side. Just get a stretch. And then I'm going to transition to holding on to the heels. I'm just grabbing for the heels, and I'm stretching back. I'm kind of stretching the tops of the feet. Just put them up underneath me.
Oh.
Stretch. And then I'm going to release the toes and just give them a gentle rock forward and back. Yeah, like that. Huh? And maybe you want to transition to give the little toes a massage. And just gently squeeze and rock them. So we're not doing any deep tissue work. Like I said, a lot of the Yogassage and swing is more like soothing and relieving and calming. But, you know, each person's personal practice can look like how it looks like. Good. All right. So after we give a little leg love, you can also do a little back of the calves, just kind of gently caressing and squeezing. Feel good. Sometimes I'll come up, if I work with somebody who has a lot of leg stuff, I'll come up and hook behind the knees and work a little bit higher up. So like I hook the feet, I can actually hook a little bit higher and give a little squeeze and lift. Depending on what's going on in your body. A lot of times I'm just working on the spine, but this is also a nice way to work on the legs. Okay. hips are in a comfortable position. Leave them in a good place. Ask them if they need anything. He's like, so beautiful. He's got his googly eyes on. I think it's because it's Selena. I don't think he'd be looking at me like that. But anyhow, so pay attention. Jen's still here. Oh wow, she's in the room. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize she was still here.
So, do you have a general? Do you usually start with like your knees under the shoulders, or is it just depending on the body and the height?
I just really make it up that honestly it does depend on the height. Like if I slide underneath, so let's just do something consistent. Let's go ahead and start at the hips. Okay, so I can put my knees right at the hips and just do like a gentle squeeze and rocking motion. So it's like I'm squeezing my knees in and then like washing around. Just real gentle. Are your knees able to touch? No. Okay. All right, cool. So to get my knees at his hips, I slid down so that my shoulders are in line with his shoulders. Mm-hmm. Now if I'm going to use my feet, I'm going to slide back up so that his shoulders are kind of more in line with my belly button. Okay? Just to give some reference. And then I can use my feet on the hips. Let's just start out with the hips. Real gentle rocking. So my knees are open wide and my feet are on the outside of the hips more. So yeah, like that. Okay. And I'm just rocking. And then I'm going to bring my toes to be on either side of the spine. Okay. Right at the sacrum, you'll feel like you fit, right? Like this little Lego piece. Falls well. That's like a really nice place to just rock the body, and it actually is very soothing for the sacrum, just to have the toes gently caress there. I'm not pressing super hard, especially for anybody with back pain. You don't want to like create any alarm for the nervous system. It's more just like a gentle, soothing, comforting feeling. And then I'm going to walk up teeny tiny baby steps up the spine along the either side. And I'll guide you guys through it when you do the Yogassage for us. Because yes, you will be doing this next, so pay attention. Okay, yes ma'am. So I'm gently just walking up one vertebrae at a time. So just like 5 ounces of pressure. So I'm not doing any deep tissue when I'm in Yogassage. I'm not trying to really push. It's more just for the calming, soothing. And then when I get to the shoulders, I'm going to stay at the shoulders. Okay? I'm going to use my whole foot on the back, so I'm rocking from heel to toe. So my toes are right above the C7 joint. And then I'm just rocking heel to toe, so I'm kind of swaying him a little bit more. As long as this feels good on your back. If you feel straight in your body, it's going to translate to your contact, and so you really want to feel comfortable with the way that you're working ergonomically. And then I'm going to transition with my feet a little bit higher, so the balls of the feet are above the shoulder blade, the top tip of the shoulder blade, right? And so I'm going to press my feet straight, my legs straight, and then I'm going to try to keep them balanced. They might spin out to the side, which is okay, but if you press them straight, Selena?
My feet or my legs? Or
press your legs straight towards me with the balls of the feet on the shoulders. Spread your foot a little bit wider. I know, it's okay. You might get some swagger. So do that a couple times. Bend the knees and let them sway towards you, and then press your legs straight towards me. And then you're going to have a little bit more pressure on the shoulders. So feel okay, Ben?
Great.
So again.
It's like a master. Master area control.
Yeah. So you might have a little sway from side to side. You can bring your feet a little bit wider, so you turn your toes out like a V, and then you can get a little bit more onto the scapula. Yeah, good. Nice. And it's okay if they sway from side to side. We're going to try some side to side too, which is kind of fun. So if you're pressing them and they go to the side, you're just going to catch them with the other foot and kind of rock them from side to side. So I have my left foot on the left shoulder and my right foot on the right hip. And it's kind of fun as long as they're feeling playful. If they tend to get seasick, sick, I'm not going to sway them too much because they'll be like, ooh. And then I switch sides, so both feet press, and then let the left stay on the left shoulder and the right. I'm sorry, right on right shoulder. I'm trying not to say it backwards now. Left foot on left hip. Yeah, so a little bit more from side to side. So press your right foot into the shoulder more. So press your foot straight towards me. Back here. Yeah. Nice. A little bit like the other way, but it's okay.
A little bit further.
So Selena, look at me for a second. So it's my right foot on right shoulder that creates the twist. Okay, so then I can bend the left knee and kind of rock it back and forth like that. Really? Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got it. He's like, no problem. He's like, take your time, experiment. You can get it. There you go. Good. Isn't that fun? Okay, so let's go ahead and come to center and walk our feet back down. So I'm using more of the ball of the foot, like more of the, not just the toes, but the whole ball of the foot to walk down. So a little bit more contact. As I'm walking down, I can sway them gently from side to side. If I feel a little tight spot, like sometimes behind the heart, I'll do like little kneading, little cat paws.
What did you say?
Like the cats that go, they knead a little bit.
Oh,
so you can knead behind the heart. What did you say?
I thought you said a little mating, a little.
Yeah, neat. Mating in the swing. That's what I said.
Swing mating.
We all hear what we want to hear.
That's right.
And then I'm going to let my feet slide and drag. So I'm going to let them slide from behind the heart all the way to the tailbone. Just use the momentum to slide. And then just kind of squeeze the side body. The feet come back up. Body a little hug. Good, yeah, you got it. That's great. Sometimes I like to use the top of the feet if they're really high up. That helps with the lower back as well. All right, so then we're going to come to sit. And so my shoulders are above his shoulders. My hands can come to the back of the neck, and I'm just going to gently pull up towards the sky and get a little bit of length through the cervical spine, and then just kind of scratch, tickle down to the shoulders and back around. So real soft caressing on the surface of the swing around the shoulders. And then fingertips pointing towards the sacrum. I'm going to work on the lower back, just the same thing. Just the kind of like fingertips. And then just do some loopy-loops, some figure eights, whatever feels good. Just kind of work along. Feel like you're doing like an energy wash on the body, either with the whole hands or the fingertips. Feels really good to work along the spine. If you notice any tight spots, just give that area a little bit more attention. Okay. Then we're going to come to stand. And then the last part I just like to do behind the neck again. So real gentle. I just kind of pull towards me. You can have one hand underneath and the other hand on the forehead, and you're just rocking back and forth, just getting a little bit of traction in there. As long as it feels good to you, it's probably going to feel good to them. not too much. Remember, like 5 ounces of pressure. Not like a big pull. More soothing and caressing than trying to make something happen. Letting the swing do most of the work. All right. Pretty good? Yeah? Happy customers? Okay, great. How about if we switch? You guys want to give it a go? You need a few minutes?
Yeah, clean up the drill off my chest.
Yeah, I know. You're like, I don't know. Why don't we just keep going? Yeah. Oh, fun.
Yeah, if you want to do more.
He's like, do it again. Are you sure you got that? Do it again. Yeah, his swing is pretty high up. Yeah, like when, sorry. So you want to be in your swing? You want to switch swings? So I'm going to be over here, and we're going to record you. So no pressure. Would be perfect. Yeah. I'll actually go this way, so that way,
You can see.
yeah. Okay. And
Oh, you
I'll,
can see that way.
yeah, I'll guide you through it for the most part, but you can also make it up. Unless Lena, did you want to guide them?
No, I want you to guide them. But I was wondering if I should go over here so they can understand each other.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to face the front door, and then I'm going to get in. Make sure the swing is nice and low so you can stretch it to the knees. And then I'm just going to lean back. So it's really nice to just immediately start to help out your friend, and then you're going to put the leg loops on for them. Okay, so they're going to lift their own leg, but you're just going to invite them to come on up, and then you're going to spread the leg loop out from the arch of the foot all the way to the back of the knee. So yeah, just get it behind the knee like that so it sticks. And then second side. There we go. So arch of the foot, yeah, there we go. Nice. I know I might be repeating myself even though you got it, but it's for them too. Okay, great. That feels awesome. Okay, good. So what we're gonna do is hook the toes like underneath the arms, and then I like either holding onto the back of the calves, or you can actually hold on to the leg loops too. I just hold up there, yeah, and pull. Exactly. Nice. So it's really leaning back the weight of the body that's doing the stretching. Yeah, exactly. And then the person's going to close their eyes and really just take in the wave. So see if you can just kind of sway the hips from side to side on your own body, and then just move nice and slow, and you'll feel the rhythm wave being translated into their body. You can play with doing that in your own pace, in your own time, but just consider going really, really slow. The slower you go, the more relaxing it is for them. If you create too much wave, you know, it's stimulating to the nervous system. So just see if you can find that ease, embrace, welcoming your body to relax. So the person who's receiving can have their hands overhead, or they can just have their hands relaxing on their lap, or they can have their arms crossed over their chest. So invite the person in the swing to find a comfortable position for their arms. Nice. Good. That's really good. Yeah. Just like to feel into the body. What would feel good for you? Right? Since you just received, to try to remember what it felt like, and then just give your buddy the same kind of reciprocation. And then if you like, you can keep everything else as it is. You're just going to slide down so you're hooking the back of the ankles. Let the toes stretch. So stretch the tops of the feet still, yeah. And then you can pull forward and back. So just gently pull forward and back. Just let the body start to get some length. Good. So notice that if we're just hooking the feet, we're making it really easy. So we want to always make it so we're not working very hard, but it's more like the swing during the work. Awesome. And then you can release the toes and just hook the heels. And then try rocking back and forth or side to side. Just kind of give a little love to the feet now. Maybe you can transition up to squeezing the toes or the sides of the feet. feet. Just whatever feels good. Spend a few more minutes with the legs. So usually 3 to 5 minutes to begin, and I start with the feet, especially for people who are uncomfortable with like massage or touch, you know, like it's a nice way to get somebody in the swing who doesn't want to get undressed and on the table. I know Ashland, it's not so much of an issue, but for some older people, it's like really uncomfortable, right? So they can stay dressed, and I start out with just the legs and feet to get them used to touch. So that's part of it too, you know. Plus, we want to really get as much length and connection to the lower part of the body, so that we're opening up from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. So we end with the crown of the head, right? We start with the base and move up the whole spine. You can flow any way you want, but that's my philosophy. Really nice. And then go ahead and try and come up so that you're hooking behind the knees and doing a little bit of massage to the hamstrings. So see if that you can get that higher hook. Yeah, there you go. Let the knees bend. Perfect. And then I like to just rock back and forth again from side to side. Really good. Now we're doing a pro bend. He's like, yeah, I got this. But yeah, it's just so nice to work with the swing and let the swing do a lot of the cradling and the holding, and then you're just assisting that process. Of course, if you feel like doing more, that's great, but it's the idea of it just being more soothing than working. And after you feel complete with the legs, you're going to transition to underneath the swing. So start out with your shoulders level with their shoulders, and then bring your knees towards their hips. So just see if you can bend your knees, and if your knees touch the hips, great. And if not, don't worry about it, but your hands can be behind the heart if they reach, and then your knees can be at their hips. So the knees are pretty much just kind of rocking and squeezing and coming in contact with the lower body. If your knees touch the sacrum, you can just start rocking forward and back a little bit. Mainly letting the swing do the rocking, but like initiating that contact. And believe it or not, I'm pretty sure this is the first time anybody's done the Yogassage on me. I'm always teaching it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice.
Well, Ben's a good person.
I know. Like, and then I just want.
Yeah, you've probably been playing around with this, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, Ben, you're welcome to guide us through some things you found. Do you want to lead the way?
I like what you do.
All right.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a combination of using the feet, using the knees, and using the hands. So what we're going to do is slide up so that the navel's in line with their shoulders, and then you can use the feet on the hips. And you're just going to gently turn the feet out to like a V shape, so the heels are close to the bottom of the sacrum, and then the balls of the feet are towards the piriformis, and you're just going to let them rock back and forth a little bit. Just let the swing kind of sway you around. Just use gentle pressure. Maybe walk up and down on the hips a little bit, just see if it feels good. We didn't do this the first time, but you can always like ask the person if there's any spots where they're feeling tension, or they might be like, oh, there's a little bit like I feel something, you know, along my sacrum, or yeah, in general my lumbar feels tight. You know, you can have some interaction, or you can just kind of flow. I usually don't ask people for a lot of instruction because I can kind of tell what's happening, but if the person feels like they want to share, then you can welcome them to share different parts. Or you might hear them go, ooh, ah, oh, you know, like, oh yeah, there. Some people are very directive in their receiving, and other people just like you to lead the way. take a few moments exploring using the feet, the toes, the heels, and the hips. And then what we're going to do after you feel like you're complete there, we're going to bring the toes on each side of the spine, starting at the sacrum. So the toes are going to be beside the spine, not on the spine. Start out a little bit lower, sacrum is lower. Yeah, right there. Good job. See, I can direct. And then you're just going to really tippy-toe, gently walk up the spine. So one foot at a time, start walking up like one vertebrae at a time. Yeah, just use really gentle pressure to start to awaken. So these are the U points along the paraspinals that are part of Chinese medicine practices for boosting the immune system. So if somebody has a cold or is feeling low energy, do this a couple times. You can walk nice and slow up to C7 and then back down again. And if you do that up and down, up and down, up and down, that'll really actually stimulate their immune system to kick in, which is a really cool way in the swing to start rebalancing some of those systems, those parts of the body that don't actually get this kind of attention. Even in body work, people don't do like a lot of real gentle work on the spine like this. So with the person hanging, you know, and all of their entire back exposed, it actually feels really good to use gravity.
I'm surprised how much sensation there was for this small amount of pressure.
Exactly. Right? Instead of having to push into it, it's like you're pushing up. Yeah, it's just really nice to open up the sensitivity of the body too, especially for people who tend to really like deep work. I'm pretty adamant about them just becoming more aware of how subtle the body is and getting into that layer. Yes, let's go ahead and walk up the spine and then walk back down again. We're going to do nice and slow. Just play the game with like little snail pace. How slow can you go? So you're really trying to synchronize their breath with your movement. So you're slowing them down. If you want to go a little bit faster and a little bit more stimulating, that's fine too. But let's have the Yogassage practice be one of like kind of dropping into stillness. So even slower, Bayard. I can hear you. He's like, get the little squeaky shoes on. Yeah, and then once you get down to the sacrum, you're going to go back up again and end up at the neck. Really take your time. So it's amazing to think like, oh, I'm not really doing very much, you know, and maybe they're getting bored or something, but I guarantee you they're loving it. Like really the most gentle and slow movements are going to be really soothing to their nervous system. So it really helps if you find a little tightness behind the heart or something to hang out there and just rock a little bit. I call it the kitty paws. You know, you just kind of knead into a little tightness. Behind the heart and behind the sacrum are definitely the popular spots, but you might feel it somewhere else too. They're my fingers. Hi. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, just decide intuitively where do your hands and feet want to go, and just play with it a little bit. So we're starting with Yogassage today. We could always end with Yogassage. Just depends on your person. Some people come in and they immediately just announce, oh my God, I'm so tired, right? And they're telling me, I don't want to do anything today because they know I'll make them work. And it was up to me. And they're like, okay. I'm like, okay, get in the swing. And they're like, yes. I'm like, but don't be faking you're tired just to get your Yogassage in. Okay, good. So when we wind up back at the shoulders, we're going to have the balls of the feet sit on the traps. then you're going to push your legs straight towards the front door and just extend your legs. So don't try to work. Yes, extend on a diagonal more than up. There you go, like that. Yeah, there you go. And you'll feel them kind of gently rock from side to side. If that happens, you can always go into the side body stretch like we were doing before, but if you can. So then bend your knees and let them rock back. Bend your knees and rock back. All the way. So rock forward and back a few times. Let the swing have its own momentum. Yeah, like that. So then you're doing soft, and then straighten your legs again, and then press in. Nice. And then soften. Just go back and forth a few times. It feels really good to do pressure, and then release, and then pressure, and release. So then we're going to let them spin to the side. So keep pressing with your right foot, and left foot is going to find the left hip. It's a little bit of a transition there. So keep pressing your right foot and let the left foot find the hip. Yeah. And then just rock them back and forth a couple times. See if you can find that rhythm. Yeah. So you can play in the space. It will feel good to you. So if you're relaxed, they're relaxed, right? If there's any tension in the movement, they'll feel it immediately in their body. So we want to use the buoyancy of the swing to hold them. Yeah, exactly. Let them swing a little bit. Yeah, so the idea is this is making your life easier. So you're not really working. My head's coming out. I'm going to get back in. Make sure their head stays in. They look like they're popping out. They are. Premature labor here. And then switch sides. So you're going to press left foot into the shoulder. So the shoulders, the foot's pressing more towards the door than up. So more of the diagonal. And then right foot can find the hip. There you go. Yeah, try to get the foot on the more of the piriformis, a little bit higher here. This one, yeah, right there. That's it. That feels good. A little bit higher if you can with the right foot. Yeah, there's like a little cushy spot that works really well with the foot. Yeah, exactly. And the piriformis tends to feel really tight on people, so that really is helpful. Just work with the spins a little bit. The spins can be a little tricky. It's good to just play with it. There you go. So like you can, yeah, rock them and be relaxed about it. Just know it all feels good. That's just a matter of preference and whatever play that you want to have. Come back to center, both feet on the shoulders. Just do a little bit more gentle rocking. So keep the knees bent and then just kind of press onto the top of the traps and rock them back and forth a few times. So try to just do just a couple counts of pressure. So let them rock a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. I know you're used to working in the swing, but let the person just kind of feel like you're resetting the nervous system instead of bringing out the muscles. It'll be like a totally different relationship to the body that way. And then work behind the heart a little bit, maybe with your feet or your hands or whatever feels right. Just do a little releasing and kneading and washing. Feels good. If you feel like you want to do circles or loop-de-loops or whatever, just take a few moments to work behind the heart. So hips, shoulders, heart. Those are the main areas in which people hold tension. And then when you're ready, you're going to sit up. And when you sit up, you're going to, that's good. And I'm like, Bear, just watch Ben and do what he's doing. I'm like, yeah, whatever that is, that's So the feet actually hook, like the whole body is based in sacred geometry, right? So the feet actually hook really nicely onto the upper hamstrings. And you can just kind of like put pressure on the back and then use the hands too, which is really a nice way to slow it down. It's kind of like dropping into some stillness there. And then when you feel ready, you're going to sit up, and then your shoulders are going to be in front of theirs, and your hands are going to be on their neck, and you're just going to slightly pull up along the occiput, and then kind of wash down the shoulders and wrap around the shoulder blades into the back, towards the spine, and back around again. Just kind of whatever intuitively the motion that you want to do to start to do some energetic washing. So it's kind of like tickling or scratching, and just kind of like using whatever method that feels good to you to just start to connect the whole body. A lot of times it's really fun to, once you stretch the neck, then just kind of trace the pathway all the way down the spine to the sacrum and tailbone and back around again. So go a few washes up and down the spine. It's really easy. Sometimes it's actually nice to just rock them, and so you don't have to move your hands. Your hands will just slide up and down from them rocking. If that makes sense. So never underestimate the power of the tickle. I have friends all the time that are like, just tickle me. Like, okay.
I know. I mean, everything feels really good.
Yeah.
But the fingers sliding up and down the back.
Yeah, it is so
amazing. I was thinking, it feels good when someone does that if I'm lying down too, but it feels even better in the swing.
It does.
I don't understand why.
Magic. Yeah, I know. It was really fun when Lori was like, oh, that little Yogassage at the end. I'm glad that we did that. So each person got to experience a little bit of personal attention. It's great. Yeah, so do that for as long as you like. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and do a little bit more work along the neck and the occiput, maybe into the cranial and skull, and you can kind of wrap around and give them like a little shampoo. Yeah, right? Set up a little hair station too, creation station. I know, right? Just like a half-hour shampooing. Would you like a 30-minute shampoo or 15? And we were like, I'll take a 30-minute shampoo. My hair isn't brushing so clean. So then you're going to come to stand when you feel ready, and then you're going to do a little bit of stretching back of the neck. If you want, you can have one hand on the back of the skull and then one hand on the forehead, and you're just going to gently rock them forward and back to give them a little stretch to the neck. So not too much pressure, just really kind of soothing and relieving. But the same way like we were stretching the feet, you just want to lean back and pull away so they feel like they have space that's happening there. It's actually kind of nice to have like palm.
Yeah, palm on the
There you go. You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go. So the fingers can be relaxed. So any part of the body, and really simple, like with translation, if you're relaxed, they're relaxed, right? just like try rocking with the swing and going back and forth too. So like still letting the swing do most of the work, but you're just kind of like assisting. So instead of holding, which means you're working, you're just kind of going with the rocking motion. So you're pulling and then relaxing. There's many different ways, but that's what you know what I mean? That's what we're practicing today, is just letting the swing do the work, because we're so used to working as a body worker. So like each wave is the stretch, and then you relax, and then you stretch, and you relax, and it actually kind of brings out the body in a different way than just like holding. It's really different. Just whatever feels good, because there's more, many ways, more than infinite ways. Really good. And then if there's anything that you intuitively want to finish with or feel would be good on your body, feel free to experiment or play, or maybe Ben wants to share something he's been working with.
That's a lot of so much stuff just getting me. And oh, I got one.
Okay, great. Take the time.
Just giving a little like circular massage on the temples and back. Finishing off that scalp massage on the sides. Some light pressure in the cheekbones and the muscles of the jaw. Pressure on the ears. That can always work too. Let's just take a little bit.
If you wanted to do one more thing that I didn't show you guys, if you want to bring your arms up overhead, you can actually, I like
Hold wrist.
the hook underneath, and then, and then their hands are kind of at your waist, and then you can just gently rock them and pull back. Yeah. So now you get to stretch the shoulders a little bit. And if you want, you can take your time. You can kind of slide down so you wind up holding on to their wrists and to their hands and stretching up the whole arm and forearm. So sorry I gypped you guys in this one, but yeah. So sometimes I have people work and I'll actually have them clasp on so I can lean back more, and then other times I have them relax. It just depends on the client too. Some people are willing to engage, and other people are like, you can just tell they're not going to hold on. That's actually like a nice move. I usually rest their head on my belly a lot for different things, and people just really like it. You know, they're just like, oh, that's nice. Because, you know, a lot of times we're taught not to come in contact with people. Do you know what I mean? But it is really kind of comforting to have that kind of level of support.
So this is the one I like to get up. And start out by handing on and guiding her head so you can kind of keep a hook on the base of her skull so I can guide it.
Okay.
On
What's
top
happening?
of my shoulder.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
then I get shoulder.
Oh, nice.
Spine. With my sacrum
like you're a child
down, where I
pose?
can feel the weight of her sacrum.
See, this is why we pay you the if bucks.
Yep, and then I can just play around with different parts of my spine. Somewhere a little bit like
Yay,
mid
it's the
back,
waterbed.
somewhere like
It's
shoulder.
Totally like waterbed. Slow motion
Oh,
water.
this is great.
Sacrum, I can walk further underneath,
Oh.
see where that leads.
Seriously.
And then sometimes I can find that sway that gets the snake motion happening.
All right, good. We'll try to get and do this for you guys so you can feel it. Definitely.
I do this in the water. That's where I get it from.
Really?
It's so good, yeah.
So good.
You do that in the, so you're
Really?
down at the bottom of the holding your breath doing this?
No.
Like
I just
your
got
head
my
sticking
nose.
out?
I got my nose.
I'm like, is your
Sometimes
head?
check
Do you
it
have
out.
snorkel mask on? It's like,
Scuba gear.
it's just like, you know, the little bubble.
There you go.
Yeah, this is great. Nice. I really have fun of that. Oh yeah.
Because I can get my mid back toward her sacrum and give it a little
Yeah.
spinal stretch.
Yeah, you could probably even press up into a down dog, which would be kind of neat.
So what would happen?
Let's try it.
I gotta figure out where to be.
Yeah, you have to figure it out.
Forward.
So then you're in like a V and then,
I think I'm gonna go down forearms.
okay. Start low.
I get the if you're gonna share your trade secrets with me.
I know. Oh yeah. So try to let your whole back be against my back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like
I think I do have to go up to my arms.
Did you do the down dog there?
Let's go the way.
Oh yeah. That's good because it's like the inversion table then.
Slide. That's so fun. Massage.
Yeah, that feels really good on the sacrum.
I guess that's a good way to exit.
Yeah, right?
Back to the beginning.
Hi. He pops up the other end. It's like the little gopher game.
Hello, doctor.
Not right. It's a boy.
Yeah, I remember this. Wait a second. It's the recycling program. All right. Let's get you back in the swing so we can try the waterman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did it come up with
I know the names. I can't help it.
Don't want you to help it.
I know. All right. Switch it. Nice and slow. Woo! Oh man, that feels amazing.
Yeah,
Don't you feel
yeah.
altered?
Come out slowly.
Super high.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's try the waterbed sequence. I'm going to create a new video just